sustaining propagation of localized combustion zone at subsonic velocities. So these are some very important keywords are also involved. Okay, let us look at a simple flame. So this is basically a Bunsen burner. Okay, so this is typically how a premixed flame will look like. Now let us see what is a premixed flame. Okay, before that, let us look at a video. So this is basically what we do is we fill a room with a mixture of a fuel and oxygen. Let us say propane on oxygen or hydrogen. And let us say your LPG gas leaks. It fills a room, and if there is a spark, what will happen? If you have a big room and it is filled with combustible gas and oxygen, mixture of fuel and oxygen, and I put a spark, let us say at the center of the room, what will happen then?
So it will explode.
It will explode. So how it will explode? Let us have a look. Okay, I need some pointer here. So can you see flames? So this is called spherical flame propagation. Okay, so flame will not only be like this, flame could also be like this. And this will also produce some lot of pressure which could break your building or structure. So in the right you can see this is how this spherical flame front expands. So there are a lot of interesting physics going on that will not discuss. I just wanted to give you some flavor what our actual flame looks like. Okay, looks good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, moving on. So this was actually FM. This was some experiments which are done at FM Global. So in my postdoc, we actually did some experiments with them, and maybe I could also show some more videos later on. Moving on, let us first define what is a premixed flame. So in this subject, will talk about two types of flames: premixed and non-premixed. Okay, let us take a simple example of a Bunsen burner. Bunsen burner you all have seen, right?
Yes,
At
sir.
least what is a Bunsen burner. So it is a tube where there are ports for fuel and air. So if I have fuel plus oxidizer, it could be air or it could be oxygen. If I have both of them mixed before entering this tube, so at the exit of the tube, I will have a mixture of fuel and oxygen. If that is the case, then it is a premixed flame. Okay. Or what I can do is I can close the oxygen port. I will say that only fuel is coming. That will happen here. So if only fuel is supplied to this Bunsen burner, when it comes out, what will happen? Only fuel is there. Now oxygen will come from the ambient. Okay. Oxygen will come from the surrounding and then it will burn. So this type of flame is called non-premixed flame or diffusion flame. So the difference is that for premixed flame, oxidizer is premixed. It is mixed with the fuel before combustion. While diffusion flame, the fuel is separate, oxygen is separate, and then mixed at the flame front. Is this difference clear to everyone? Any questions on this? What is a premixed and what is a diffusion flame?
Sir, can you please repeat it? I missed it.
Sure. See, let me clear all this. So let us say I have a Bunsen burner. Okay, this is a Bunsen burner which is basically a tube. What you have seen in the last slide. It will have some flame like this. Okay. So it is a tube which has, let us say, two openings or two fuel lines. So from one I can supply oxygen or air. From one I can supply fuel. Okay. Basically the idea is that I want to mix both of them before burning. So inside the tube it will get mixed, and at the end of the tube I will have oxygen plus fuel, both are present, then it burns. Is it clear?
Yes, sir, it is clear now. Thank you.
Basically, I am supplying a mixture of oxygen and fuel before combustion. Now what happens if there are two supply lines, I will close one. I will only let fuel to go pass. So I have only fuel here. If only fuel goes, then what will happen? You also need oxygen to burn. So oxygen will come from the surrounding atmosphere. Okay, and oxygen and fuel will be moving out. They will mix at the flame front. So this is called diffusion flame. This is a very important concept. 2 chapters are based on this. So this has to be absolutely clear. If anyone wants, I can repeat again.
Sir, in both the cases, the color of the flame would be same or different.
It will be, see, this is a schematic. Don't get, I'm just made some image from PowerPoint. Color will be different. You're right. Schematic, I wanted to show there is a flame, there is a tube, that's all. Okay? But what is the difference, sir? Clear? Difference is simple. In one case, I have fuel plus oxidizer. One case, I have fuel plus oxidizer that is applied. Fuel air mixture basically. In this case, I have only fuel which is applied. That is the only difference. After that, whatever the resulting flame is, that we'll study in detail. But from fundamental point, what is how you will create a premix or how you will create a diffusion flame, that is the difference. Is this clear to everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us look at some examples. So Bunsen burner with a air fuel supply, that will give you a premixed flame. It will look like, it will be mostly in bluish color, depending on the fuel. But for common hydrocarbons like methane, LPG, it will be bluish in color. While candle flame is a very common example for diffusion flame. Okay, now we are not supplying anything like this case, but because of heat, fuel is getting evaporated. Now this wick will carry that fuel vapor up to the flame front. So we have only fuel vapors which are inside this, and oxygen is coming from outside. So that is why it is a diffusion flame. Is this clear? Or you can also imagine a Bunsen burner only, but a oxygen port is closed. So then it will also form a diffusion flame. Is this clear or not?
Clear.
Okay. So let us look at what goes inside a Bunsen burner. So as I mentioned, there will be air port and there will be fuel port. So fuel is being supplied from here, and air is actually, there are holes through which air enter. Okay, and this tube is basically used for mixing. That's why that's the name, pre-mixed, that it is already mixed. So when you look at a flame, you see there is a dark zone inside and there is a luminous zone outside, as you can see here. So basically this is a luminous zone which surrounds the dark zone. Inside it, it is little dark because there is no combustion there. Okay. So if you open air holes, it is premixed flame. If you close this, then it is diffusion flame. I am repeating again and again because this is a very important concept. So let us have some definitions. So how do you define a premixed flame? That oxidizer and fuel are mixed before burning, and these are separate before burning in a diffusion flame. Another important term is deflagration. If you remember in the first slide when we defined flame, we said that it is subsonic. So if it is subsonic, it is called deflagration. If the flame speed is supersonic, basically when we talk about explosion or blast, for that case it becomes supersonic. I can show you some examples if we have time at the end of the class. So for that case, it is called detonation. So it involves very large pressure changes also. Okay. Now there's another interesting flame which is called dual flame. So it will have inner core which is premixed, but a lot of fuel remains. Mostly if you operate it very rich, okay, fuel rich will give you one premixed flame and one diffusion flame. I did some experiments, so one of the images is from there. So this is not in your syllabus. I just wanted to show it because it is interesting, but it is not. Do not worry much about it. Okay, we will limit our discussion to simple premixed flames. Okay, so let us now talk about premixed flame. What is the structure? What are the different regions involved? Okay, so let's say this is a Bunsen burner tube. Flow is coming from here. Now this is a streamline. Flow will come, then it will go out. Why it will go out? Can anyone tell me? Why will not it go straight? Why it is diverging?
That to maintain flow rate, area it will spread out. Area is increased.
Areas in why area will increase? Can you speak a little louder? Your voice is very feeble.
Sir, the width of the flame is more than the width of the tube.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. But the question is why? So when gases are burning, the temperature is higher. So what will happen if you heat a gas?
It will expand.
Correct. So these are expanding. So that's why the streamlines are diverging. Okay. Now we have different regions. This is the dark zone, means that within this cone there is no combustion. This is only fuel and air. Mixture is there. Reactant are there, but combustion is happening at the flame front. This is the flame front, and which is the luminous zone. And then after that you have burned gases. Okay. So if you look at an experimental image, so in this book, what they do is they do some laser visualization. Will not go into detail, but this is a detailed picture which shows you different zones involved, and this dotted line shows you the streamlines. So what this line, what you see here, this is what is shown here. So this line is going and then it is diverging. And as you can see, this is like a cut section. Okay. So inside this blue luminous zone, we have a dark zone. We have unburned fuel and oxygen mixture. Fresh gas, we say in terms of combustion, fresh gas is here, burned gas is here. Okay. And this is basically your reaction zone, and this is your preheat. This is called preheat zone, where these gases are basically heated and then they burn. We'll see later how it works. Okay, now let us look at some videos. Right, I don't want this class to be boring, so in between we'll have some interesting images or videos. So what I'm going to show is that in this experiment they have a glass tube, as you can see here. Now they fill this glass tube with some gas, let us say methane or air, methane air mixture, and they put spark on one side, so it will burn. The flame will go through the tube. Okay, you can go to YouTube and watch this video if you want. So let us have a look. So can you see flame was ignited here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is another view. So basically what we are seeing here is that there is a stagnant gas in the tube and we are igniting at one end, and what is happening? Flame is traveling through the gas, right? This is what is being shown here. Okay. So moving on. So schematically, what you saw in the last slide, how I can show it in a diagram. So I'll say that I have an open tube. I fill it with fuel and air mixture. Okay, that is what was there. Now I put a spark, or let us say there's a way to make it simple. We will take some ideal assumptions. So let us say it is a very straight flame front. Actually, it is not. If you remember the last video, it will get. It is not a straight flame front. Okay, let me repeat this. So if you see, it is curved, right? Because of gravity, because of buoyancy, and lot of factors. But to keep our analysis simple, I will say that you have a simple planar flame front. Okay. Now, what will happen? Once you ignite, it will start to move in the left side with some velocity u. Okay, let us say that this u is fixed, it is moving, and once it finished, then what will have? We'll have the tube will be filled with the burnt gases and flame will move out to the end, till the end. Right, this is exactly what we have seen in the last video. You all agree to that?
Sir, I guess U will not be constant. Like it will increase with time.
Why?
Because the more and more gases will be burning, so the energy will be increasing. That results in increase of kinetic energy.
No, you.
Conversion of thermal to kinetic.
Yes, you have burnt gases, but burnt gases are also, see, this is an open end. Gases are being expelled from there. If it is closed, if I close this tube, then your thought process is going in the right direction. But since it is an open tube, so even though a lot of burnt gases are there, but they are getting expelled. They are not being stored here. If I just close this tube, then it will build up some pressure and it will push the flame. Okay, okay, good. That will happen in this case. Let me go back to here. Here the flame speed will keep on increasing. Okay, look at it. I might also have some. Okay, I will show you flame speed in the next slide. But that case, the flame burnt gases are inside this flame front, right? Burnt gases are inside this sphere. Here, that is not the case. Here, the burnt gases are also getting expelled from. Okay, let us see if it really moves fast or not. I don't know if the video will be that clear. So, do you see it is getting very fast or something like that?
Sir, in the video, I can see there is some change in speed. It may be my illusion or whatever. I don't know.
See, ideally speaking, it should not.
Okay.
We'll go to the theory why it should not. Let me put in this. Okay, there could be, yeah, there could be lot. Let us say that the flame is becoming turbulent, then it will increase. But if we say that this is a laminar flame, then it should be constant. That is what the theory says. Okay, theoretically it should be constant, but practically let us say that turbulence comes into play, or because of gravity. See, if it is a vertical tube, this is horizontal, right? If it is a vertical tube, then it will accelerate because the burnt gases are, let us say, lighter than air. So buoyancy effects will be there. This is also a little bit tilted because of buoyancy. But theoretically, this should go with constant velocity. Okay, I will come to that. Let me finish a few more slides. Then you might be able to appreciate. Okay, this is clear what I'm trying to say, that it goes with a constant velocity. This is actually a very fundamental assumption in this theory. So good that you raised this point. This has to be very clear why it goes and what is fundamental about this speed. Okay. So let us take another example. Let us say that you are having a boat, you go to a lake, and your let us say a boat speed is fixed with v1. Okay. So what a stationary observer will see? If I am standing on ground, I will see that you are going left with the speed v1, right? Sorry, yeah, you are moving with respect to in left with respect to a stationary reference frame. You understand what I am saying?
Sir, what are the
Yes.
initial speeds of the frame? Can you please confirm?
What are the initial speed of?
All the three, like water, V1 or boat.
Water is stationary. This is a lake. Boat
Okay.
is constant velocity v1. That's it.
Okay, sir.
So stationary observer will only see v1. Right now, instead of lake, I am going in a river. Okay, I have a boat. Boat, let us say, has fixed v1 velocity. They are going in a river. Okay, so what is the difference between a lake and a river?
Water is not still in the river, like it
Water
will.
will also move. Let us say water has velocity v2. Okay, so what is the observation of a stationary reference frame? If I am standing on ground, I will see that boat is moving with a velocity v1 minus v2. Right? Basically vector addition, that's all. River is coming here, but this boat is in absolute in still water it is moving at v1. So if you look at the absolute motion, it will be v1 minus v2. Is this right or wrong? Not? Come on, this is simple vector addition. You have
Yes, sir. We got that. We can move
okay.
forward.
So now you imagine why I am talking about boat and river. Now let us come back to flame. So now you imagine there is a tube in which gas is stationary, gas is not moving, and boat is your flame. So if gas is stationary, the flame is moving at constant speed v1. Okay. Now you assume that gas is also moving with some speed. Okay. And your flame is going at some speed. Now, if I match those two speeds, if I know what is V1, I will supply gas at speed V2 and you will see that it is stationary, it is not moving at all. Okay, what I am saying is, if I supply fresh mixture at some speed, okay, let us say that U, so that this flame appears stationary. How much it is able to burn, that same amount it is getting every second. Okay, this a standard laminar flame, let us say it can burn X grams of fuel per second. So I'm supplying X grams of fuel. So can I hold it stationary here or it will definitely move? Now tell me that. Going by the last example, last slide, if I try to use this example for a flame, so if I supply some fixed quantity of fuel per second, which is what is required by the flame, can I hold it stationary or not? Come on,
Sir,
anyone?
we can if burned gases will not be expelled from the that container or burner, whatever it is.
No, no, it will be expanding. See, burnt gases will keep on accumulating. You are adding fresh mixture. So burnt gas will also be getting produced regularly. So I have to, because that's why I am showed open-ended tube. So in this open end, basically what is happening? Sorry. From this end, your fresh mixture is coming. From this end, burnt gas is going out. If you close, see again you're talking about a closed tube. If you close this tube, what will happen? You are filling it with burned gases. This will rise in pressure. It will not allow it to be stationary. Please understand that. To have it stationary, the simplest thing I can do is have an open tube. So gas is coming freely from here, gas is free leaving from here. My only focus is at what rate I supply so that it does not move. If I supply too fast, it will move like this. If I supply too slow, then it will move like this. If I supply at the correct proportion, correct speed basically, correct n dot, then I can hold it in its place. That is what I'm trying to convey. Okay, we are running out of time. So we'll stop for today. Tomorrow morning we'll try to understand what is going on and define Laminar frame speed. Okay.